Hello, my beautiful ducklings. It's your friendly Grumpetteer, and I'm back again with a Steven Universe vlog. Today's episode is Garnet's Universe, and before I start, I just want to preface this by saying congratulations to Rebecca, Ian, and the rest of the Steven Universe team for one, as far as I'm concerned, successful year of the Steven Universe show so far as of this day. They had a little, I had a little thing over on their like Twitter page, all talking about it and stuff. And it's just such a good show so far. I do feel it has a lot more potential that is not being exposed yet, if we're just talking truthfully. But it's still a great show, and I love doing these vlogs for you guys. I have had a YouTube comment tell me that one of the creators of the show, I don't know, like someone on the staff, has mentioned like my vlogs contributing to the success of the show, which I have yet to find evidence of. But if that's the case, that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. But in this episode, Garnet comes back from a special mission, and Steven does a little sneak attack on her. And so Garnet wants Steven to tell her what he thought her entire mission was about. So Steven goes into this story about how Garnet and this little, elephant in the room. You see, the thing about this episode, it's unique. It's unique from the other Steven Universe episodes. Anybody who watches my YouTube pages and like takes notes like consistently, or knows me, my hair's all messed up, or knows me personally, they know that I am a big fan of animation, but even more am I a fan of unique kinds of animation. Instead of the nice looking but still generic CGI kind of Frozen, Tangled, there's always, thrown in the nice little unique, really interesting style of, say, Waltz with Bashir, or dare I say South Park, something like that. Something that switches it up a bit. Fantastic Mr. Fox, Claymation, Big Hero to some extent. Those kinds of animation, it happens with video games too, say Wind Waker, or that PS3 game where you do stuff with the paper, I don't know what it's called. I really like when the normal generic way of something is changed up a little bit. It really makes it look unique, nice, all kinds of things I've said before. And this episode does that. Does it do it well? I'd be lying if I said I thought it was consistently awesome, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't think it was consistently awesome, if that makes sense. The animation style, when Steven's telling the story, is more of a kind of Asian-inspired, watercolored sort of anime style, if that makes sense. Like, the plot of Steven's flashback thing is obviously trying to be like an anime / video game kind of collaboration, because it's happening in his mind. Those are things he finds cool. Ask me, I'd be like, oh, you fought a giant Pokemon, came home, got some pop figures, made a review no one watches on the internet or reads on his music blog. You should check that out. I'll have it in the description. But so it wasn't I'll talk about that later. I'll get to that later. I spent 2 minutes talking about that. So Steven goes into this world, and he tells the tale of how Garnet and this frog and this bunny, were training to get a magical gem from this temple on the top of a hill, which is being guarded by, the fox. So they go up there, and what does the fox say? The fox says, no, you can't do that. So he gets beaten. No, Garnet beats him, and so Garnet has to go and train with a waterfall and stuff. She does all kinds of giant Hulkbuster hand, giant mambo combo, bite, sip, and so she's finally ready to go and face up against that fox and get the gem thing back for this Ringo guy who is obviously oh god, I always forget his name. The guy from the other episode, you saw the Keep Beach City Weird guy. that guy. You know him. I don't remember his name. It's like Ramon or something. So they're doing that, and so they get the gem because they get back to the Fox. But it turns out that the Keep Beach City weird guy, who in this is called Ringo for some, I don't know, for some reason, he was the bad guy all along. So he takes it and he opens up his world of Fruity Loops, and so Garnet and him have a big face-off, and of course Garnet falls, but then the power of Steven compels her, and she goes whoosh, and she destroys Ringo, takes back the prize from his Fruit Loop cereal head, and goes home, and that's the end of the story. And Garnet's like, yeah, no, that didn't happen. Let's talk about the story before I get into the animation. It's a good idea. It's a good idea that like Steven comes up with a story, and it's exaggerated to make it seem how Garnet's so awesome and cool. And it's really nice in the beginning, like how Garnet comes in and she's all happy to see Steven and stuff. That's like I knew they were like friends and stuff. I wasn't really like if we've learned anything in this show, it's a lot of things. If we've learned nothing in this show, it's kind of the relationship between Garnet and Steven. It's kind of like glanced over a little bit, as is not like Amethyst or Pearl, which is kind of focused on a bit more. So that was nice to see. And the bunny character and the frog character, they have some funny lines here and there. And yeah, I wouldn't make it through the review without saying this. There's a part they're talking about their power levels, and they're looking at the power levels, and the frog's like, oh, it's over 800. It's over 8,000. It's over 7,000. It's over 8,000. And they purposely skip it's over 9,000 to say it's over 10,000. They're like, it's over 8,000. It's over 10,000. It was Dragon Ball. They couldn't do it because Dragon Ball would come in and be like, you can't do that. And that's the thing. Like, they were trying to do anime references like that, as is, the bunny, like a katana-wielding guy, and he was telling her train her power level. They tried to do references like that, but like sometimes copyright in real life got in the way. So sometimes like with that, it's just really awkward to hear go, oh, over 8,000, over 10,000, her power level is incredible. It's like you could have just, we know what the joke was. Why didn't you say it? It's like if someone says like knock knock and you say who's there, and they just like don't say the punchline. And they're just like, orange, you glad I didn't say banana? It's like, what doesn't make any sense. Because it doesn't make any sense. And it's weird. And it doesn't feel right. But, like, besides that, the characters are pretty cool. The designs on the frog and the bunny are simplistic, but, not, like, simplistic to the point of dumb. Simplistic to the point of, like, that's what they were going for. It's kind of like a video game, sort of mashed up with an anime, as I said before. And Garnet's design in this world is, pretty neat, too. And the animation it isn't bad. It looks really pleasing at times. Like, there's a scene at the beginning where Ringo's telling him about how he stole the jewel, and they're looking into the little jewel box, and like the sides are all, nicely shaded and all that. That looks really nice. But there's a scene where they all get like punched by the fox, and they all fly into the forest, and they're just sitting in the woods, and it looks unfinished. Like, there's a very fine line in the art style they're doing between looking nice and looking really unfinished. And while I can't say that I could draw that line off the top of my head and explain it to you, I do know that there are certain times they really, really didn't get it. It really looks weird, and the character animations are also really weird. Sometimes they'll be really detailed, like when Garnet first gets her giant power gloves and she's punching a whole bunch, it focuses in on her and there's like shading on her arms, but not shading, like blurry shading, like line shading that they do with like, say, and like kind of when they like pause at the end of a Pokemon episode, and like that kind of shading, and then it'll go back to like the simplistic style, and like of the characters moving like this, and then one movement they're moving fluently like actual characters, and that isn't only weird, it looks so unfinished as well. It looks like, if you watch it like an animatic for like an episode, all the storyboards put together with the voice acting, the people are like one frame, then the next frame they're over here, and the next frame they like maybe like they're like and like you see like little arrows and stuff. This is kind of what that episode is. It seems like they just took the storyboard, and the animat, and they just put color on that, and they just kind of pushed it out a little bit, and it just doesn't seem right. I don't know why. It just doesn't seem right to me. If you think it looks really nice, that's perfectly understandable. It is really nice. Just the concept of like those unfinished looking backgrounds with the unfinished looking character models at times and then super detailed at others really doesn't mix for me. But if it works for you, that's really cool. It's a good episode. Like episode wise, art and like animation wise, it's subpar at best. So it's take it with a grain of salt, if you will. I'll see you guys later. Jiggle that like button with your face, and see you later. Chicka chicka.